wherever you are, wherever you're hearing me, I am greeting you, wishing you all the best. I know it's been a while, but I want to come out to those of you who have been asking me for a sample class, what I do with my students. I wanted to quickly give you a sample of what I do. I am under the weather, so pardon my voice, and you might hear me sneeze or cough a little, so just excuse all of that. With that said, I want to quickly show you a sample of what I do with my students. So this is a sample review class, I think I'm going to show you. So, and if you want to see the students in action, maybe interactivity between me and the student, you can see the video that follows this. I'll leave the link below and also on this video. All right, so what I would do is say, we start with a greeting of, based on the time that the lesson starts. And we say, in this example, we say "kason." I say all that you see on top, and they respond to me. In our lessons or during our lessons, they won't really see the bottom, the responses. Um, they're expected to know how to respond because we review and sort of like um do these activities to ensure that they remember what we learned the week before and other lessons prior. So we start the lesson by saying, I say "kaso" to a student. I address a student from a group class. "Kaso," and the student is supposed to respond appropriately. Right? So I say "kaso," and the student should say this, right? A class should say
Ẹ káàsán,
right.
ẹ káàsán.
So after the child or the student responds that way, I then go to the next thing. I say, "Orúkọ mi ni Rashida, kí ni orúkọ rẹ?" Or "Orúkọ mi ni Rashida, kí ni orúkọ ẹ?" Right, which if you look at the bottom of all these, you see the English translations. So that as the child is learning the language, the child can actually see. Well, the student rather, because my student, I have some adults as well. So that the student can see, what can sort of be able to see what they're saying in Yoruba, see it in English as well instead, and say it in Yoruba. I require them to only respond to me in Yoruba. Sometimes I'll speak English, but I try to stick to Yoruba speaking to help them to challenge their mind and brains to speak the language. So, and they respond, of course, with
Orúkọ mi ni. My name is. Orúkọ mi ni. My name is. So at the end of this phrase or sentence, you insert your name.
so after that, we just keep going, and I say "bawoni," they say "dadani," as in this "dadani" or "dadani oshe," "dadani eshe." Here I remind them that if you're speaking, I see that I missed some markings here, but some tone marks. But if you're speaking to an elder, anyone who's older than you, or just as a sign of respect, you don't forget to say the eshe instead of oshe, right? So that is reiterated in every lesson that we have. So then we go into kilon she and kilon she. Again, this is a sample lesson. This is where we do our warm up and kilon she. So I'm asking questions, and this is for in this part they are only to repeat. They don't they are not expected to have known this before the class, but here they're learning something new. Kilonche, and again they can see it in English. Kilonche. Mon, here they're beginning to form a sentence. My goal here is to get them to forge a sentence, right? And add, have a subject, have their verb, and so on and so forth. So mon, right? And then here mon wo, I'm looking. Monyo, I'm yawning. So right here in front of you, they have learned two verbs, and they basically have made two sentences if they can remember these action words in combination with "I am," right? I am looking and I am yawning. Right there, they can make two sentences to express themselves and tell someone what they are doing, or they can look at someone and know that that person is yawn and know that in Yoruba that is called yiyon, right? Nyo, the person is yawning, right? Or the person is looking. All right. Here is another question form. Kilo feshe. What do you want? What do you want to do? Right. So the first one is kilo she. What are you doing? And then this is kilo feshe. Right. So my mouse is very sensitive here. So if it leaves the page, I'll just come back to it. All right. So there's a response that says mofeji. So the cocoa of this matter, right? The main thing here is for them to get these action words. Ji, mu, jeon. So here it says mofeji, I want to wake up. Mofemu, I want to drink. And mofejeon, I want to eat, right? So we keep going. And then I show an image, a larger image, and we start going again into zeroing in on the phrase or sentence. Excuse me. So we start zeroing in on what they have learned, and this now highlights the action in this sentence, which is sleep. I remind them, sort of like give them a mnemonic device to remember, as English speakers, to remember what correlates with sleep in Yoruba, right? So the word sun, right? It looks in front of you, it looks like sun is really sun. So I'm like, the one with the S, the one that begins with the S is sleep. Sun is to sleep. So something like that. So we go into things like that, and usually they remember by the time we move through the lesson. Now, this is an opposing action. Excuse me. It's an opposite of what we've learned about eating. We learned that mofe means I want, and miofe here in this example. And with the action that is so explicit, you see this child saying to that broccoli, which is very easy. It helps a child or student remember that is the opposite of something they want. So miofe jeon here is an example of that. So I point out that mio means I don't want. So every time they see mio, it basically means they they themselves are saying I do not want. Okay. And then we go into testing, like a quick beni abi beko, right? So each student is asked whether the action before him or her is what is happening, or if it is not. Okay, so they are to tell me. I individualize this section, um, and I say mon bo, right? Mon bo, I'm coming. I don't say it in English at all. I basically stick to Yoruba. Mon bo. We say beni abibeko, right? Beni abibeko. And they will answer me. All right. And in this image that we see a walk, like a walk cycle. So the figure is moving, is walking, is coming. So it's easy for the person to see Mumbo means, equals to what this action before us is, and it is what is being said here. If they get it wrong, I repeat it, I go to the next student, and by default, the other student will get it right because, of course, if the answer is Bani and is wrong, then the default is the correct answer. And then we all discuss it and move forward. If they get it wrong, I ask if they get it right. And if it's a beko, I'll ask them, so what is it? If it is not the action that is labeled here, then what is it? Excuse me. A good example of that is what you see before you. So, Beni abibeko mofeji. It's very clear that this character is sleeping. So I'm asking mofeji, remimi, right? Mofeji, Beni abibeko. This clearly should be beko because this person wants to sleep. So they say beko, and then I ask, kini mofeshe, kileleyin she, or which is, what is this one doing? Or what is this? Kileleyi, what is this one? Right? And then they respond with whatever it is, mofesun or monsun, right? Whew. All right, I cannot wait to feel better. Excuse me. And then we get into um sort of a way to see how much they remember. We do like a multiple choice. An example of that is here before you. So kini mo ń ṣe nínú àwòrán yìí? What am I doing in this image, in this picture? It is clear to see that this child is yawning. If they pick an incorrect answer, there is a reaction from the options that are before them. And if they are correct, they will soon find out, very clearly stated. Okay? So if I go mo also they get to hear, not just read, they get to hear how to say each of the sentences. Okay, so if you heard after I selected this response, which is actually incorrect, it tells you what it is. It shows you that is incorrect by lighting up red. Excuse me. And you heard a sound that sort of indicated that it's wrong. So that's not the right answer. And then we go to another one. It calls it out again. You can hear mo, and which is I'm looking, but this child is clearly not looking. Look at his or her eyes shut, right? So when he goes, then we pick another option. Mo fẹ́ jẹun. Maybe the child wants to eat, but that's not the clearest action here. So then the learner or the student picks the correct answer, and here's what happens. And the child, excuse me, or the learner then hears how to say it as well. And this can help them practice as much as they want. My students, you know, you do get all of these um, with every lesson. So the information is there for you to use as you need. Um, and then this is again asking, Kini mo ń ṣe nínú àwòrán yìí? Here's another sample of what I just showed you. So this child wants to eat, is about to eat. So I ask again, Kini mo ń ṣe nínú àwòrán yìí? What am I doing in this image? Mo ń wò. Of course not. Mo ń jẹun is the clear answer. Or mo fẹ́ jẹun rather. Or you could say mo ń jẹun, which is it's happening and it's what I want to do. But mo fẹ́ jẹun means that I want to eat. Okay, so this brings us to the end of this quick sample that I want to show you. As I said at the top of this video, oh my gosh, excuse me. If you want to see the students in action, I have linked a quick sample for you. It will follow this video, or you can just click on the link on this video to watch that. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you who are waiting for my free classes, they are coming in 2023. This year is wrapping up so quickly, and I'm just trying to stay as healthy as I can. Take care. God bless. If you like what you've seen, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps support what we do on this channel, and it is free for you. Take care. Bye bye.